Ladies and gentlemen, President Kimbrough, Board of Trustees, Mr. Garrett Morris, honored guests, Founder Day contributors, faculty, students, staff, alumni, and friends of Dillard University. I'm Jatori McDowell, a graduating senior business management major from Shreveport, Louisiana. And class president, good afternoon. I'm quite pleased to introduce our speaker for this afternoon, Dillard alumnus, Mr. Garrett Morris. Born Garrett Gonzalez Morris on February 1st, 1937 in New Orleans, Louisiana, he was raised by his grandfather, a Baptist minister. Morris' first love was music, and as a young boy, he displayed his devotion in church, where he began singing at age 5 and soon became a fixture in the choir. In 1958, after traveling north for a musical competition, the aspiring performer decided to put down stakes in New York, where he joined the YMCA, Drama Club, His first show business break came later that same year when Morris was hired as a soloist with the Harry Belafonte Singers, with whom he remained until 1968. He made his transition to acting in 1960 when he landed the role of a titular character, Leroy, in the play The Bible Salesman at NYC's Broadway Congregational Church. The gifted and determined Morris also studied music at the famed Juilliard School. Considerable stage credits both on and off Broadway followed. Morris took part in musicals such as Porgy and Bess, Showboat, Fenian's Rainbow, Melvin Peebles' Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death. Mr. Morris has also had acting roles such as The Jeffersons, Different Strokes, Married with Children, and Martin. Movies such as Cooley High, and the television drama Hunter. Mr. Morris was a part of the original cast of Saturday Night Live. Which appeared from 1975 to 1980. He also had a long-running role as Uncle Junior on the comedy sitcom, The Jamie Foxx Show. The comedy sitcom, The Jamie Foxx Show, which aired from 1996 to 2001. Currently, he has a starting role as Earl on the CBS sitcom Two Broke Girls. Without further ado, join me in welcoming the 2015 Founders Day Convocation speaker, Mr. Garrett Morris.
Let the church say. Let the church say. Let the church say. All right, I just want to know I got my proper Baptist in the room. First of all, I am honored. Right now, I'm pushing it down because you know what? You're born in New Orleans, and you're Baptist. You know what I mean when I say I'm full right now. Okay? So I'm going to try to keep the dam down because it's not proper for a man to start crying up here on stage, but I'm one of those guys, I don't care. I might do it. Okay? I want to first of all say this is a great, great day celebrating the founding day of one of the greatest institutions in this country. And I think it's also a great day because it's a great day when I got up looking down at the ground. Okay? And it's always a great day, right, doctor? When you wake up looking down at the ground. And I want to thank you, Dr. Kimbrough. I want to thank Dr. Page and my main man, Mark Burns, right? The faculty, everybody, I want to thank you for honoring me with this Founders Day occasion, okay? Like I said, I'm very full right now. I was born here. I am a son of New Orleans. Yes. Now, when I left in 58, there was a time when in New Orleans, a lot of things could not happen for you if you were black, okay? So when I left, I actually swore I would never come back. And for about 10 years, I didn't. But in 1976, when I was at Saturday Night Live, we came back to do a show. And they had built all these overpasses and underpasses and everything. And also, something happened to me that really reminded me how things change. Because when I came back, mind you, a lot of stuff happened with white people when I was a kid, the sheriffs and stuff. But when I was, how many of you saw the movie Deliverance? How many of you saw it? When I came back, after all of the stuff that happened, negative stuff that happens with white people in this city, when I came back, I'm walking down the street, and I passed a bar, and a guy who looked like he was an extra in Deliverance says, Garrett Morris, come on into my car and have a drink with me, man. I thought the guy was pulling the trick on me, okay? But I want to say, first of all, as a son of New Orleans, I am of the opinion that I was lucky to be born in New Orleans. And let me add, please understand me, to be born black in New Orleans, in this country. Okay. Because from the very beginning, I was born in Charity Hospital. How many of you were born in Charity Hospital? Now, how many were born in the East Wing? Raise your hand. Because if you're born in the East Wing, you're over 55 years old. Okay? Y'all young people don't know about the East Wing, see? We were in the East Wing because people thought they could catch black. I don't know. Okay? Born in the East Wing of Charity Hospital. Born the son of Inez Sarah Phillips. Now, my name is not Garrett Gonzalez Morris. That's Wikipedia. Okay? They did that. I was Christian Garrett Isaac Morris. Yes, and I was the son of Willie Morris, and I mentioned my mom, and probably going to do a lot of mentioning her because my father was not in the picture that much. But the main thing is I was lucky to be born black in New Orleans, and also black and the grandson of Thomas Phillips and Gertrude Phillips. Now let me tell you, the reason why I was lucky is because Thomas Phillips and Gertrude Phillips did what they say you're supposed to do to kids. They talked to me, they sang to me, they helped. Apparently, at 3.5 years old, I was reading the Bible. Now, Dr. Kimbrough, if I was reading the Bible at 3.5, I did not know I was reading it, okay? I had no idea, right? But that's what they did. By the time I was 4, I was, the first tenor in the gospel quartet that went around Louisiana. So already I was beginning in music, and I was writing some poems and stuff, and I was doing a lot of stuff that I just was doing it, didn't realize it was coming from them saying to me all the time, you can do it. You can do whatever you want. And my grandparents told that to me all the time, okay? And I think they did it, overdid it. I think they did it because they knew it was going outside. They knew when you went outside, there was a whole negative atmosphere. So they told me all the time, you can do it. But that's not the only lucky thing I had. Because my grandfather, he got a church in Morgan City, right? First he got it in Biloxi. Then he had a big argument with one of the missionaries because he moved from Biloxi in a year to Morgan City because the church in Morgan City, Mount Pilgrim, offered him more money, $125 a month, which in those times was a lot of money. Plus, every couple of weeks I'd see some beef on the back porch, a ham or a leg on him. You know what I'm saying? That's how they took care of him. But Thomas Phillips was one of what I believe one of Louisiana's greatest preachers. And he was a short, round, bald guy, okay? And because he was such a great preacher, right, I thought you had to be some kind of a round, bald person to really preach. He was a whooping preacher, right? So I thought in order to be really a whooper, you had to be round and bald, right? A short, round, and bald, medium-sized round and bald, or tall, round and bald, But that ran throughout all of the great whooping preachers I knew. Am I lying? And they all spat when they spoke. And my grandfather spat with the best of them. Hey, Dr. Kimbrough, if you were sitting within 3 or 4 yards of him, you got hit with some spit. You got filled with the Holy Spirit, but you got hit with the Holy Spirit. Now, I stayed in Morgan City. I went back and forth. I went to elementary school in Morgan City, but during the summer I was coming to New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Boy, at night I would steal out and go look through the window of Dewdrop Inn in Good Town. How many of y'all been in Good Town? Joy Tavern in Good Town, right? I was supposed to be there, and my mom would come, boy, get on back home. She didn't have to do, all she had to do was look at me, right? Now, how many of you have been in church doing wrong and just had your mom or your pop just look at you, right? The look sometimes is worse than the beating, because the look has it in total disappointment, right? So she would catch me and drag me on back home. But back and forth until I was 13 years old, until I was 14 years old in Morgan City. I'm lucky again to have been with parents who told me over and over, you can do it. I get to New Orleans, and I'm back in Booker T. Booker T, right? I'm lucky again to be black in Booker T because that was a time when I was in a school that whites and blacks had been fighting about. The white people then, not like the white people here, did not want blacks to have this really great modernized school, right? How many of you remember that argument? Sure enough, we not only had a great school, but we got some highly motivated teachers led by Principal Crocker. How many of you remember Principal Crocker? And I was lucky to be in that school with highly motivated teachers and one of the greatest teachers. Let me calm down. Gladys Jones Hill. Such a great inspiration to me. Such a great inspiration. And boy, if she thought you could do it and you were lazy, whoo, whoo. You don't want Miss Hill talking to you then. Boy, you knucklehead. That was her dirty word. That was her curse word, right? She said knucklehead, that meant total disappointment. But Miss Hill, Miss Shakespeare, Principal Crocker were telling us all, you can do it. So I was lucky to be in that school. I got by the time I'm through with my senior year in Booker T, I had 2 scholarships, one to Xavier and one to here. Now, I am a Protestant. I was born and raised Baptist. Ain't no way I'm going to no Catholic school. Okay? Hello? I ain't going to no Catholic school. And plus, I was mad because Xavier was always beating our football team, which they did until finally we got tired and just quit football. Forget it, forget it. But in New Orleans, Philip Memorial Church, I went to Philip Memorial Church over there on 4th Street. Ephesian Baptist, which is on Broad Street right by the canal. But I spent more of my time here on this campus. I had I won't go through it, the home situation was not ideal. But even if it had been, by the time I got here, the beauty of the school, because Dr. Dent spent a lot of time, a lot of money beautifying the school. For 10 years, we were called the most beautiful campus in the SCLC, right? So I spent a lot of time here, just meditating, and also crying over broken love affairs, okay? And a lot of time in Coss Hall. Now look, if you spend a lot of time in Coss Hall back there, you like to be in Coss Hall. Because when it rained, you found out that there were certain rooms you could go to and certain rooms you couldn't, okay? You have this beautiful, beautiful music building here. I'm so proud of it, but For me, I still have a thing about when I look back there, I want to see Carl's Hall back there, and I don't see it. But I haven't really gone through the new Fine Arts Building. The people in theater can tell me what to think. Is this the 2015 graduating class? Say it again. 16, not 15. I'm living in the past. Well, I know some of them have graduated magna cum laude. Some have graduated summa cum laude. Some have graduated cum laude. Doctor, I graduated, thank you, Lord. That was me. Thank you, Lord. No. I got some notes here. I don't usually use notes. But if you think I'm not nervous right now, then I'm the best actor in the world. I can perform, and I have performed in front of thousands with just that good adrenaline. No real nervousness. But here you're talking about myself, I'm talking about myself, and a lot of times giving up on your real self is nervous, particularly to your home, okay? So I'm cool now. But I just want you to know, I was lucky to be born here, black here, lucky to have my grandparents, lucky to have Dillard, and lucky to be a student here at Dillard University. Because when I came here, again, anybody got a napkin? I think I need a napkin. Anybody got a Kleenex for me? Is anything happening here? See, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a chronic bleeder. I sometimes bleed, and I'm just gonna be honest, I'm a chronic bleeder. But when I got here, there was nothing but motivation, First of all, from a minister by the name of Dr. Samuel Dent. Samuel Gandy, who I think has died, he's dead now. Dr. Dent and his wife, Jessie Dent, okay, would see you all the time. Miss Dent was aware of my musical stuff and would always be encouraging to me. And I don't know if David Butoff made doctor, but he was a great choir director, David Butoff. Again, all of these people were saying to us, you can do it. Again, a lot of that came from being aware of the fact that when you walked outside, you were being told you couldn't do it by the atmosphere. Okay. When I got to New York, I'll go through a negative part of my history because of a very bad domestic situation. I was actually homeless for like 5 weeks. But I wound up meeting someone who got me to the right place, which was the YMCA, where I used to rehearse down in the recreation room. And a gentleman who sang with Harry Belafonte heard me and told me about an audition, which I took. And I became a singer-arranger with Harry Belafonte. And if you think that means money, Harry was making the money, okay? But that experience was one which actually led to me one of the things I did at Saturday Night Live. I hope I can tell this story because I know you've seen me on Saturday Night Live and may think that 4-letter words are coming out of my mouth. It is not. I'm here, right? But the 4-letter words you might hear maybe love, live, and because it's my life, you might hear the 4-letter word loco. But no, you won't hear anything else. But there's one step we're going to tell you. It led to the first thing I ever did on Saturday Night Live. I was a part of a group that had extraordinary improvisationists. John, Gilda, they were extraordinary. I also did improvisation, but I learned improvisation at the hands of a man by the name of Imamo Amiri Baraka. And Imamo, during the time in that 60s and 70s, I was in the Black Arts Theater, and we improvised to try to figure out black problems in the neighborhood, being junkies, teen pregnancy, crime in the street. That's what we went for. We didn't go necessarily for comedy. So when I did get the job at Saturday Night Live, And I'm improvising, you know, my improvisational skills went from hate Whitey to kill Whitey. That's about it, right? They, though, had a long range of stuff they could do. And one time, when Lorne Michaels came up with the idea of a death row follies, guys on death row were going to be having a folly. And a black guy on death row is being asked to sing his point of view, to say his point of view and express it. And he told me, he told John, he told Bill, go to your rooms, come back with something. Well, I went there and I said, well, oof, what am I going to do? But then I thought about the fact that when I was with the Belafonte Singers, one of the guys told me a story about Art Linkletter, who had a show called Truth or Consequences. And that was a time when, because of the racial situation, they blacked out the shows for stuff they didn't like. For instance, Nat King Cole's show, about 8 or 9 southern states blacked out his show. Well, on this particular day, Art Linkletter did what he usually does. He finds somebody in the audience. He finds somebody in the audience who has a talent, who has an ability. And this time he had a lady there whose name, I don't remember, but she wrote about 400 songs, about 400 or 500 songs. So he found out about it. Now, before I get to that, let me tell you what happened when I came out of my room. When I came out of my room, I came out with a song that signified what a guy on death row would be thinking. And the song went like this. I'm gonna get me a shotgun and shoot all the whites I see. I'm gonna get me a shotgun and shoot all the whites I see. When I kill all the whites I see, Whitey, he won't bother me. Gonna get me a shotgun and kill all the whites I see. Well, it so happened that when Art Linkletter was doing when Art Linkletter was doing his show, this old lady from North Carolina who had written 400 songs, he found it out. He got her to come up on stage. And she said, oh, no, I don't want to come up. I don't want to come up. I don't come. And he made her come up anyway, right? And clapped her up, clapped her up. Ladies and gentlemen, she wrote 400 songs. We want to hear one of her best songs, right? She said, oh, no, I don't know. He said, no, come on, don't be ashamed. Give us your best song. Sure enough, she does, bop, 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 bop. I'm gonna get me a shotgun and shoot all the niggas I see. I'm gonna get me a shotgun and shoot all the niggas I see. They blacked out the TV. They blacked it out. So that's why, I got the photograph lady, she wasn't laughing. That's why I thank my God for those kind of stories, because when he asked me to improvise, I had nothing except I thought about that incident and exchanged nigger for Whitey, and that was it. New York presented me with a whole panorama of things. I went to Juilliard, but I didn't matriculate. I actually studied with their voice teacher, one of their voice teachers, because if you're a singer, you got to deal with yourself like you're an athlete, because the voice is a muscle. You have to train. Coaching is training. So I coached with one of their teachers for like 5 years. And when I left Harry, I'd already done about 20 off-Broadway and Broadway shows, leading to the time, and I always wrote a couple of plays as well. I have a couple of plays that I wrote which were produced in New York, and that's why when Lorne Michaels came to New York City looking for a writer, somebody recommended me. I brought my play, he read the play, and he liked it. And then something happened, I won't go through it, something happened, NBC was having problems with me in many ways, and actually wanted me to get rid of me, but he did not. He told me he would keep me, but they made a deal that he should take me off the writer's thing, and his wisdom, his cleverness, really, he bumped me into the not ready for time players, and in other words, they compromised and said, okay, he'll do that. But that's how it really happened. It didn't happen to any really. I auditioned with Gilda for the part, and thank God I did with her, because, like I said, my improvisational skills go from hate Whitey to kill Whitey, but her improvisation, she was excellent, and they gave me the assignment of being a cab driver who was in fact driving her from the airport. And the comedy came out of how I cheated her between JFK and New York City. Having said that, thank you for that giggle. Uh, Look, I'm not here to be funny. I'm really not here to be funny. But when it comes to being funny, ladies and gentlemen, remember they all can't be diamonds. If you want diamonds, go to Africa. Talk about Morgan City. There are a lot of names you know if you're from Louisiana. You know Pichons, right? Dejois, and you know Broussards, right? Well, one story I didn't tell you about Morgan City was that's where I first learned that you could put a plate on the top of a guy's head and do the haircut and real neat. How many guys here had that happen where you put the sauce on top of your head? No? I'm the only one? I'm the only one. Okay. I'm that old. All right. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, talking about getting old, I'm going to come up on my 79th birthday. Come on now. Yeah. Where's Mark? Mark? Yeah. My manager, he come at me to Garrett, you come up on 79. What is your goal? I say, Jason, my goal is to wake up tomorrow morning. If I do that, everything else is candy. Because I'm not at the age where if a young lady says to me, Garrett, let's run upstairs and make mad, passionate love. I said, honey, I can't do both. Okay? One or the other. Now, if you want me up them stairs, carry me up and I'll do the last part. Okay? But if I gotta walk up, forget about that last part. Look here, my thing about comedy, you gotta understand that I really was a dramatic actor until Saturday Night Live discovered me. By the way, discovered me after 17 years of being in the business. So for me, the mantle of comedy is one I've only grown accustomed to. And it has its advantages and disadvantages. They're probably open to you for comedy, but close to you for drama, which is what I used to do before. But I was given 20 minutes. I don't know, have I done 20 minutes? Huh? No? Oh, well, I just want to say this. For me, the important thing to remember about what I'm saying is I feel you should understand that there's nothing about you, biology, psychology, nothing about you that stops you from doing what you want to do. You can do it. There are a whole lot of other things I can put in this story to have you understand what I mean. I was shot and nearly killed about 17 years ago. I was in a coma for 4 days. I walked with a wheelchair for 2 years. I had a body cast for like 4 years. I was told I would not walk or run ever without help. I do not run, but they were lying about the walking. I'm walking all the time. Now, I used to run, doctor, I used to run 6 miles every morning. Now I walk 6 miles a year, and I'm tired after that. Look, I succeeded. I almost did it. It almost boiled over. I'm not going to end this with a laugh or anything, just end with a serious understanding that for me, I really mean it, absolutely mean it, that being born black and here, remember I'm putting black in there, black and here was one of the luckiest things that for me could ever have happened to me, because it had a train that led me to 2 black people, my grandparents, and a whole host of people in my high school, and a whole people in this college right here. One thing I regret about, I'm going to leave after this, about present day education and desegregation was that you and I know what I'm going to say is true. Now, you don't have the zeroing in on black history that you had before. You know, nowadays, Mark Twain can't even be the racist that he was. They have him now saying, using the word slave for nigger. Why is that better? I have to assume somebody non-white made that decision. That it's better to have the word slave there than nigger, right? If you read your history books, Martin Luther King ain't as frightening as he was, and Malcolm X certainly isn't. For me, I'm not even trying to down our country by saying, keep the bad in. The truth is, you yourself, just as I, am in fact the combination of the good and bad that has happened to us and to me, and you cannot know the truth about yourself unless you include the bad as well as the good. You can't. But look, again, let me thank you. It's a great, great honor. I hope that as you seem to be happy to see me stand up, I hope you're not also happy to see me sit down.
Good afternoon. Once again, let's thank for an inspiring and often funny, which we sort of knew. I'm just happy because to me it's like I just really want to say Uncle Junior. I mean, I'm just like I've been hanging out with Uncle Junior. Y'all don't, that means a lot to me. But let's thank Garrett Morris for being here with us again. I think his presence here really embodies this spirit of Founders Day because he's someone that multiple generations of people in this room can relate to. And sometimes when we think of our history, we only think about things that, younger folks can't relate to, but we all can relate to his work, and he linked back further to people who are from this city and some things that happened here in the 40s and 50s. So he provides that perfect link, I believe, with what we were trying to do today. So I'm excited that he has come and spent time with us. As we indicated, this is the 80th anniversary of our theater program, and so we really wanted to have, go on. Mr. Morris was a great person to speak today. First, let me ask our team that really spearheads the theater work here, Corthell Clark and Ray Brazell. Will both of you stand? There's Ray. Where's Corthell? Oh, Corthell's up there. So these are the geniuses. I mean, Ray is acting and doing things, and Corthell, just anytime we need a production, he just lays it all out. So we got this great team that's a part of that. And then let me ask all of the theater students, if you guys will please stand so people can see, and Mr. Morris can see the next generation. And let's see, somebody who wants to come and give a plug for the play that's coming up. One of y'all come up here real quick and plug, because I heard Corthell on the radio this morning, but one of y'all come on, Sharon. Come on real quick.
Hello. Okay, so very quickly, we opened this week, and everyone knows what that means. The Dollar Night is on Thursday, so a little bit about the plays. These 3 one-acts were written by Ted Shine, and we have Shoes, Contributions, and Herbert III. And these 3 plays, they just explore different aspects of Black lives. And we really hope that you come out and see it. We hope you come out and see it too.
Thank you, LaSharon. That's what I expect for students. You know, I should just be able to call on anybody and someone come and speak. And it's also important, too, that I should know their name, too, so I'm excited that I knew who it was coming. I know there are parents who are here. Parents and relatives who are here, will you please stand? Parents and... Right. Thank you for being here. Of course, this is Founders Day. This has been a part of homecoming activities as well, and I know there are Dillard alums that are here. Dillard alumni, will you please stand? Any Dillard alumni that are here? Thank you. I also want to thank all of our program participants for today. I want to thank, I always want to thank the choir, Professor Davenport. Where is he? He dipped. Oh, he hiding. Come on, shut up. I got to make sure. And their Christmas concert is coming up very soon, so I know that will be on everyone's calendar, so we're looking forward to that. I got to find somebody to play for in the spring, though, so we'll see, so I can perform again. Class of 2016. Let me check real quick. If you started at Dillard in the fall of 2012, will you stand up? I wanted to make sure they understand how historic and special they are, because they've only known one president of Dillard University. Only one. I love the rest of y'all too, but they get a little special. Okay, y'all can have a seat. So as I was messing with Jatori when we were waiting, let me just go on and remind y'all, graduation is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. So you really need to be spending this time preparing for what you're going to do after May, because graduation is tomorrow. Like we've really started this, I guess it's been, Dr. Page, maybe a couple years now, and this is historic. We moved Founders Day back to October because historically Founders Day is near the birthday of the founder, and James Hardy Dillard's birthday is October 24th. So we wanted to make sure Founders Day was closer, and part of it, if you look at pictures in the archives, you would see the students who were going to graduate participate as you do now. So we've done this a couple of years now. So this is a part of it. And so for me, it's the first really significant wake-up call for everyone to say, graduation is tomorrow. So we want to make sure that you're using the time over the next few months to prepare, because I want y'all looking at me crazy when it's May, like, Dr. Kimber, I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay? And I know some parents here are graduates, and I know they just like, man, please do not come back home. You know, the thank you Lordies and the old Lordies, they saying, they like, please, Lordy, don't let them come back home, okay? So it's time, so we're excited, but we're getting in the mind frame that this phase of your life is about to transition into a new phase. And so we want to start thinking about that and be serious about that and using all the services and the context and whatever you need to prepare for that next phase of life. So Founders Day is an important milestone for you, because this really is the beginning of a commencement process, if you will. So I want to keep that on your mind. Lots of events going on. Since I've been here, I really want to make sure that Dillard University paid a lot of attention to issues of domestic violence. If you read the reports, particularly, and Mr. Morris talked about in our communities, when we talk about domestic violence in our community, it's something that we don't talk about, but it's rampant. In the state of Louisiana, for example, we're fourth in intimate partner deaths in the country. And when you start looking based on race, it's like 3 or 4 times for women of color, African-American women, in terms of intimate partner deaths. And so I've really been insistent, as president of an institution that's 70% female, that we really have these conversations. It's important. So we've had a lot of great events that are going on. We have events for the next couple of weeks. Wednesday, Corinne Steffens will be here. Just tell people come early because I'm sure it's going to be packed. Mr. Morris talked about dealing with the good and the bad. This is someone who's dealt with that. She was on the radio this morning, 98.5, and talked about this language of violence. It was very interesting. So that'll be Wednesday. Thursday night, we'll have an all-faiths rally and march for domestic violence at 5 p.m. starting on Kearney Terrace. So we want you to be a part of that. And then we'll combine with Loyola and Tulane for Take Back the Night. Dr. Johnson, what night? Next Thursday? On the 29th. And shuttle start leaving 4:30, so we've always played a major role in that. So we'll have a rally and march in our community this Thursday, and then next Thursday as a part of Loyola and Tulane as well. So we want you to continue to participate and really to have deeper conversations all throughout the year about this issue that really plagues our communities that doesn't get the same kind of attention. So with all of that being said, I'm going to ask, I guess, Autumn, are you coming up here? Come on, Autumn Durgan's going to come up here and lead the alma mater. Let's all stand for the alma mater.
Fair daylight, gleaming white and spacious green, we love thy every blade.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields until we meet again. May God hold you in the palm of his hands. May the God of all grace and all peace perfect us and guide us. May the God of mercy cover us as we travel this road of many troubles. For we hope for the day when God shall remove us from this world and lead us beyond the celestial sky. For we shall see God as God is, holy and righteous. But until that day, God, by thy might, lead us into the light and keep us forever in the path we pray. Amen.